feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Hey everybody, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. I'm your co-host, Ted Jenkins. Sitting here with my co-host today, Lee Heisman, of course, our guest today. We learned a lot about wine. Gary V has nothing on us. We were sitting here today with Adam Danielson, who's the founder and curator of Fermented right here in Alpharetta. It's fermentedatl.com. And we talked all today about wine. So for those of you that have never watched a post-show wrap-up before, you can catch our some 180 business owners here in Atlanta, more than 800 across the United States on our YouTube channel, or you can always go to shrimptankpodcast.com and learn more about what we do every week with our amazing owners. Because listen to this, if you're thinking about starting a business or you're running one now, you can certainly get an MBA and spend $90,000 or $100,000 to get that MBA, or you can listen to the Shrimp Tank every week. This is where we give the MBA, where street smarts and book smarts collide together. We do it all right here on the Shrimp Tank.
So, Adam, you have a shop, Fermented, in downtown Alpharetta, which is it's exploding. Ted, we're down here in Alpharetta right now.
Oh, yeah.
If you're anywhere in Atlanta, you got to get to downtown Alpharetta. And when you come, you need to come to his shop. So explain to our listeners, why is your shop so unique? Explain the white glove service that you provide and why they should come to you instead of anywhere else to get their wine.
Absolutely. First of all is the curated process of Fermented. We don't have a huge store. We don't have 10,000 square feet of warehouse space. So every single bottle that we select has a reason for being there. Everything that we do is family owned, so there are no corporate owned brands of wine in our store. And we want to support farmers and we want to support people. So every single bottle in there is awesome. And then the service is next level as well. All of our employees, myself, the culture of our shop is to get to know you, to build a personal relationship with you so that you are guaranteed to like every single bottle that you buy from us. The more feedback you give us and the more you come in the shop and the better relationship that we have, the easier that process becomes. And then we have great prices as well. We're very, very competitive. We match total or beat total on a lot of bottles in our store. And so it's a great way to come and try some wine that you haven't tried before. And then that's the other piece of it is the amount of tastings that we do. 4 days a week, you can come in the store, you can taste with us. We have different themes and different wines that we go through. This past weekend was off the beaten path, and everything was an obscure varietal that most people have never heard of before. So there's a lot of reasons to come check out Fermented, and there's a lot of reasons that we are a little cut above the rest of the wine stores out there right now.
Wasn't there one actually called Ladybug because they just dropped ladybugs down and they like get in the soil or something like that? I thought there was
there probably is.
some sort of wine like that. And I know when you're running an independent retail store, sometimes these retail stores, you're open 8 hours, 10 hours, or 12 hours, and you can't do it all yourself. How do you hire employees in this kind of business and teach them that competence, that expertise, so they can talk to the customers about wine just like you would?
Yep. Being very picky is the most important part. It took me a long time to find the right staff members, multiple interview processes, getting feedback from other people, and just really hiring based on personality and willfulness to learn more than anything else. Get in somebody with a good personality that has a good base knowledge of wine, and then we teach and we teach and we teach and we teach and we coach and we taste and we teach and we coach some more. And that really is what it's all about, being invested in each of them.
So I'll tell you, that is kind of one of the theories that we teach here on all of our shows at the Shrimp Tank across the country is you hire the person and then you teach the skills.
Yep.
Because you can't find someone with the skills. Right. You got to hire the person that you like.
Absolutely.
So talk in a little more detail about yourself, Adam, your story, your knowledge of wine is amazing. I'm literally going to leave here today and go do a tasting, whether you guys have one or not. But talk a little about your journey, because we talked previously, and we've had many guests that start in an entry-level position within their respective field, and it ultimately migrates and grows, and how important those skills are that you earn and develop over time before you open up your business.
Absolutely.
Give a little history about that.
Yeah. So I got my start in restaurants when I was 15, down on Amelia Island in Florida. That's where I grew up, graduated from high school. And in high school, started working as a busboy in a local Italian restaurant. I had a friend that worked there, and seemed like good money, seemed like good hours, fit kind of the schedule that I was looking for with nighttime. And then, as most people know that have been in the restaurant industry or been around anybody who's been in the restaurant industry, you get sucked in. So I worked in restaurants all the way through college. I worked in fine dining restaurants, and I started getting exposed to wine around 18. And then at 21, decided to quit 3 years into an economics degree to figure out what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. Moved out to Mammoth Lakes, California, kept working in restaurants, snowboarded for a long time. And then the light bulb went on in my, mid-20s that I wanted to make restaurants my full-time career, and got into management, started getting into running wine programs, and then that led me out to California, where I worked in vineyards. I made my own wine. That led me to Austin, Texas, where I ran beverage programs for multiple restaurants in a restaurant group, and then the idea of Fermented was born. I came to Atlanta and have been trying to open this up for the last 5 years. Spent a little bit of time in distribution as well, just to kind of round out the skill set and see every aspect of the industry. Yeah.
So I'm wondering here as we do a little rapid fire towards the end of the post-show wrap-up, Sideways, is it the best wine movie ever? Are there any other recommended ones besides Sideways?
Absolutely. Sideways is a great wine movie, but it's less about wine than most people think. It's more about the story of the characters, but an awesome movie. I would say Bottle Shock is a great
Bottle
one
Shock.
to watch. That's about the Judgment of Paris and how Napa Valley kind of got put on the map. And then there's another one called Sour Grapes. It's a documentary, but it is absolutely fantastic. Then, of course, the Somme documentaries have been very, very popular as well.
Best Pinot Noirs in America, are they truly in Oregon and Washington? Is that the best place to get a Pinot Noir?
Man, there's some amazing ones in Oregon. I would say it's rivaled by Russian River Valley in Sonoma, and also by Santa Barbara County down in Southern California, Central Coast.
And last
area.
ones for watching the post-show wrap-up in here. Is corkscrew now, guess when you cork it or you just have a screw top, are they all just the same today?
They are.
It's your wine is not, if you're not actually corking it, you're still okay, right?
Yes, absolutely. They did an experiment in the very beginning where they took some really high-end bottles of wine and put them in screw cap and put them in cork. And so in technology and the way it affects the wine, it does not mean it's lesser quality.
$2 Chuck, is that the greatest branding of all time?
Arguably.
Well, for folks that are watching the post-show wrap-up today, how can they learn more about Fermented? And if they want to do something for their business, bring employees in, or they're swinging by Alpharetta, want to do a tasting, or just want to start their wine collection, how can they learn more about your company?
Absolutely. You can find us online, fermentedatl.com. You can also find us on social media, Instagram and Facebook at Fermented Wine Boutique. Those are great resources. We have lots of information on all 3 of those platforms. And come check us out if you're in downtown Alpharetta.
Folks, I've always thought about this as our post-show wrap-up today, that building a wine collection is like building an employee collection if you think about it this way. You want some diversity in your collection, right? We want a bottle of red, a bottle of white, a bottle of rosé. You need employees that have different skills. You've got to nurture them like you would a bottle of wine. Store them right, treat them right, teach people about other varieties of wine. And if you do these things with your employees, you can build that collection right. It's going to make your company stronger and better and help you succeed and get to the top. And that's your post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.